Alright guys, it's time for another game preview between the Habs and the Oilers. So if you're new here, sit back, grab some bologna out of the fridge, pour yourself a glass of extra strength Pepsi, and relax. Because we're going to talk about what happened during the last game these two teams met. We'll take a look at the projected lineups, their positions in the standings, and of course, some player statistics of both teams, and see which players are kicking the most ass right now. But first, if you're a fan of these kind of videos, then please consider slapping the shit out of that red little subscribe button down there, as I upload hockey content daily and would enjoy having you come along for the ride. Now, the last time these two teams met, the Oilers played a really crappy game, and I think Oilers fans will definitely agree with that. They were not happy with that one. They only managed to muster up like 17 shots in 3 periods of play, and were shut out by Carey Price and the Habs. The Habs would win this game by a score of 4-0. But the headlines after the game, they weren't about the actual score, but instead they were about an incident that occurred during the first period when Connor McDavid became Connor McElbows and delivered an elbow to the chops of Jesperi Kotkaniemi. McDavid would go on to receive a $5,000 fine from the league, and life goes on. They play again tonight, and let's see if McDavid manages to break his little slump he's had going on against the Habs. Both him and Draisaitl have been not all that effective in their games against the Habs so far this season, and they're probably going to be going ape shit to try and figure out how to change that tonight. So taking a look at the standings now, guys, the Habs are now separating themselves from both the Flames and the Canucks and are pulling ahead a bit in the race. In fact, maybe they're trying to, possibly gain some ground on the Oilers and friends. Because if you look upwards, the Oilers are currently in a 3-way battle with the Winnipeg Jets and the Toronto Maple Leafs for first in the North. And every time one of these teams get remotely close to the Leafs, somehow they manage to just spread their wings and fly away again. It's weird. Okay, now on to the projected lineup for the Habs tonight, and believe me, these lines you're seeing right now are subject to change. Because Eric Staal is now set to make his debut for the Habs, and for those of you who are unaware, he was actually rescued by the Habs. And no, they didn't go to an SPCA and grab Eric Staal out of some kennel or cage, but they did pull him out of a messy shipwreck that some people like to call the Buffalo Sabres. The only line that you're looking at right now that I feel comfortable will probably be a line going into the game is the Tatar, Danault, and Gallagher line. They've been on fire lately, and this is the one I expect to remain intact. As for how Eric Staal is going to break his way into the lineup, who knows? One of these guys are not going to be playing tonight. And as soon as I find that out, I'm going to let you guys know. One other thing I'd like to add here, the Habs D are really going to have to work their balls to the bone to try and contain McDavid and Draisaitl. And I never thought I'd ever say this, but I kind of miss Ben Sherratt. I don't know why. I'm not really a fan of breaking up Edmondson and Petrie. I honestly don't think Petrie's been the same. Is it because Edmondson's gone? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Now let's take a look at the projected lineup of the Oilers. And as you can see, they have now split up McDavid and Draisaitl, but don't be surprised if this changes throughout the game. That's the luxury these guys have. If things get nasty, they can put these guys back together at any time. But with them separated, they definitely have a well-rounded lineup here. As for their bottom 6, it's pretty I'm not interested in that. Not a whole lot to really get excited about down there. Now let's take a look at their defense, and we saw a fight last game between Legason and Anderson. And the Oilers, they've got a pretty feisty blue line. Larson is not easy to play against, and we all know Darnell Nurse is a nutcase, especially when he wants to be, but he's also a great player, and it's cool to watch him really make a significant jump this season. Okay, it's time to take a look at some player statistics here, and let's start things off by checking out the Habs statistics. And leading the way for the Habs right now is Tyler Toffoli. He's back in action, and he scored again against the Ottawa Senators, giving him 19 goals, 9 assists, and 28 points on the year in 31 games. Next down the line is Jeff Petrie. He's been a little quiet the last few games, so let's see if this is the night he picks things up again. He's got 27 points in 34 games, followed by Brendan Gallagher, who's got 14 goals, 9 assists, 23 points in 34 games. And next on the team is Thomas Tatar. Or like that fan went crazy that time and said, Tata! He's got 23 points in 33 games. And now we're going to take a look at the Edmonton Oilers player statistics. And with 64 points this season is Jujhar Khaira. Ha, just kidding. Maybe I was reading the paper upside down here. Is Connor McDavid. He's got 22 goals and 42 assists, giving him 64 points for the league lead in 38 games. Next on the team is Leon Draisaitl. He's got 56 points in 38 games. Then we got Tyson Barrie. He's been unbelievable so far this season. He's got 32 points in 38 games. Followed by Ryan McNugget Hopkins. He's got 28 points in 38 games. And because I like him, I'm going to throw Darnell Nurse in here real quick. He's got 27 points in 38 games as well. Alright guys, so that does it for this game preview. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Make sure you come back tomorrow and check out the game review. Go Habs, go, and good luck Oilers.